Yo, what's up everybody? Today I'm going to show you the process I like to use when modeling pretty much anything in Blender. It's not the only way to do it, but it is a workflow that's helped me model a bunch of different objects. Okay, so let's jump straight into it. Before you even open Blender, you need to figure out what you're making. You can gather ideas and reference from Pinterest, ArtStation, Cosmos, or even just Google Images. A good reference image helps you notice proportions, small details, and how parts connect. And remember to try not to copy the image exactly. I've done this for practice, but when you want to make something completely new and original, the reference is mainly just for ideas. Once you have some images you like, you can put them into a mood board app like PureRef or this app I recently found called Tastemaker. Even for a simple object, reference just gives you ideas you might not think of yourself. Alright, now we're getting into Blender. Blockouts are basically the rough draft of your model. The goal here isn't to get everything perfect, it's just about making the overall shape of the object. I like to start with simple shapes like cubes, cylinders, or spheres, and then use basic tools like extrude, bevel, inset, and subdivide to push and pull your shape into the right proportions. And try not to worry about the details yet. You can think of this step as kind of like a low-res version of what the object will actually be. A lot of people skip this step, but it's actually not as hard as it seems. You can break down a lot of these images into simple shapes. Like, just have a look at this image here. You can easily see that this bottom part is made out of a cube. Obviously not this cube. Bruh. And then they just stretched it along the x-axis. And then the top is just like half a cylinder or something. So next time you go to model something, try and start with a blockout. It can really help. Also try and keep the blockout's geometry pretty clean, with quads and nice edge flow. This can really help out when you're adding detail down the track. So once you think your blockout looks pretty good, you can start to add some more details to make it more interesting. You can add all sorts of different details, and you can use your reference just to give you some ideas as well. Start with bigger details first, then add smaller ones on top so your model keeps a clear structure and doesn't get messy. I also like to model around this thing I call the 50-50 method. I actually can't remember where I heard it, but it's basically adding some details in one spot while keeping another spot empty. I like it, and it's a pretty interesting thing to think about because it gives your model some visual balance. And if you don't know where to start adding details, just have a little look at your reference and see where they add their details. And remember, try not to copy it exactly, just use it for ideas. And when you're adding details, modifiers are so helpful. They actually save so much time. Some of my favorite modifiers and the ones that I find most useful are mirror, bevel, array, and weighted normals. The mirror modifier lets you model half and duplicate the other side. So then you can be working on one side and it's affecting the other side. It saves so much time and it's non-destructive. It's also great if you like seeing your mistakes twice. And then we have the bevel modifier. Well, I think you all know what the bevel does. And then the array modifier, arrays objects. The modifier actually got updated heaps in Blender 5. It has heaps more features now than it used to have. And then we have the weighted normals modifier, which can remove artifacts and smooth surfaces. It's kind of like shade auto smooth. Alright, so at this point your model is basically done, but you want it to look as clean and polished as possible. So I'd just recommend going around your model, having a little look at all the details you've added, look at some places where it might feel a bit empty or too cluttered, add details, remove details, and just try to refine it and make it something that you find pretty good. You honestly don't have to go too crazy with adding details, but in my opinion it can make the model look heaps better. Like in this example, I added some random spikes down here on the feet of the chest. There's no need for them, but it does make it look a little bit better. Another way I like to add detail is by adding a few loop cuts to an object and then just selecting that area and extruding it out on its normals. And again, there is really no need for this, but it can make it look pretty cool. Another way to easily add detail is just using a simple piece of text, and you can even use this as a boolean to give it a bit of depth. And finally, you're probably wondering what the heck this little cute cat is doing down here. It's a totally pointless add-on I made called BlendPet, and it's mainly good for distracting you. GitHub repo in the description. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you learned something and found it helpful. If you did, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. Also let me know in the comments if you think I've missed anything, and I'll see you in the next one.